I'm Carter Osterhaus, and this is $1 Million Room. We're getting an exclusive look inside the most spectacular $1 Million rooms around the globe.
From an outrageous backyard island paradise that is the ultimate in outdoor entertainment.
So at a push of a button, this massive 2.5-ton wall comes to life.
To one of the most expensive rooms ever built.
How long did you say it took to do this?
2 years.
And how much money?
$12 million.
This might be the most expensive room I've ever stepped foot in.
And a heavenly rooftop pool with an eye-opening $1 million feature.
With a flip of this switch, we get magic. We're going outdoors.
It's an all-access pass to the most luxurious and expensive rooms in the world.
Coming up, this next room houses a priceless weapons collection that would make any museum jealous.
This sword is worth more than my life, 3 times over.
Our tour through the world's most amazing rooms now brings us to Miami, Florida, and an outrageous 40th floor South Beach penthouse with one of the most expensive great rooms ever created.
Raymond!
Carter, you made it.
How are you?
Welcome to the Taj Miami.
Pleasure to be here. Tell me a little bit about the space.
I'm going to give you the basics, Carter, first. It's a 6,000 square foot home, 3 stories with an elevator, and the room you're going to see is going to blow your mind. It's a $12 million room.
$12 million?
You're going to love it.
Oh, this is going to be a treat.
Modeled after the Taj Mahal in India, this incredible room was designed by the former owner, a Saudi sheikh, who wanted his very own palace 40 stories up in the air.
Carter, welcome to the Taj Miami.
Wow, this is amazing. Look at all the detail up there. I mean, is that all plaster? That has to all be handcrafted, correct?
It is. It's handcrafted with very small tools from blocks of plaster. 27 master craftsmen from Morocco were brought here, and they stayed in this workspace for 2 years before they finished.
Wow.
All this is hand done. Every piece is different.
It's just amazing to see all these little details, and you think about how long it took to do with a file, these individual pieces, but then you think how long it took to do this entire space all the way around. And that is a lot of time, but beautifully done. These walls are a bit different too. These mosaics on the wall.
This is a different process. They're all made by hand.
Right.
So each one is slightly different, and they're put in place by a single artist that does that section.
So this whole mosaic is one individual piece that is done when it's on the ground.
That's right.
And then they stand it up.
That's right.
It's essentially like tiling, just
That's
a
right.
lot more difficult. So the room was essentially modeled after the Taj Mahal, but it has more of a Moroccan feel to it.
Yeah, it combines.
A little bit of both.
It has a little bit of Turkish influence, and it has Arab influence, and it also has the Hindu influence as well.
It's amazing because when you step into this place, you really feel like you're transported into another country, another region.
Right.
How long did you say it took to do this?
2 years, 27 craftsmen,
And how much money?
$12 million.
This might be the most expensive room I've ever stepped foot in.
Really?
Yes, without
you stepped
a doubt.
into some rooms.
And I've stepped into a lot of spaces. I love the mosaic, but I love a piece of art like this with a snake and a rooster. Do you know the story behind this?
Well, this is one of those stories that everybody talks about, but never happened to them. The owner, he bought it for $1,000 in a Argentinian flea market, and then had curators look at it, and it turns out that it's worth in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Are you serious?
It's Chinese.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
great.
gold plated.
And this is
bronze, Chinese
and
bronze.
They sell bronze in here too, correct?
Yes.
And all the chandeliers in here, are they all gold plated?
Yeah, they're gold plated and crystal. They were brought in and selected by the sheikh when he had it.
What was the price tag on these chandeliers?
30 years ago, they were $500,000 for these 4 that are in here.
Those are pricey chandeliers. So what is this room mainly used for?
On almost all occasions, all entertaining is in this room. So it's basically the center of the whole house.
Right.
The family spends 90% of their time in this room.
The owner is an expert in historical weapons, and he uses the Taj Miami to house part of his amazing collection, which is one of the most valuable in the world.
Now, I see numerous weapons, from guns to swords to spears. Do you mind if I grab one?
Oh, I think you should. You should.
Oh, you even get the sound on that. That is amazing.
I think this is one of the family members of Napoleon for that sword. That's one of their treasures, I think.
This sword is worth more than my life 3 times over. But look how big that thing is.
Ready for the Crusades?
If you're ready for the Crusades, the history behind this sword alone, and I'm just playing around with it like I'm a little kid.
And if you want to get a better look at your surroundings, the Taj's doors open up to an all-glass solarium where you can truly appreciate this room's unique Miami location.
So this is a glass house sitting on top of a building.
Right, and it has 6,000 feet under air and another 3,000 foot deck on the roof. So you have 360-degree views of all of Miami and the beaches. This is basically the family's main dining area.
Oh,
so they actually eat out here.
Yeah.
There's no other structures which have a single-family house on the roof.
Here in Miami.
Right.
Jeez,
So
that's
it's
amazing.
very rare. So Carter, what did you think of the great room?
I think it's spectacular. The fact that it's probably one of the most expensive rooms that I've ever been in is amazing unto itself. But all of the plaster on the walls and the ceiling, and then you have the solarium out front, which is just great, 180-degree views, and then the weapons in here. It was my pleasure walking around. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Truly enjoyable.
Thank you very much.